For the reasons outlined in the judgment, the trial chamber is satisfied that this so-called Lieutenant Colonel was Popović. That evening, Popović asked that a message be conveyed to, quote, the general, unquote, that he had, quote, finished the job, unquote. And the next day, 17th July, Popović again told an unknown interlocutor, whom he referred to as the boss, that, quote, all gets an A, unquote. For the reasons outlined in the judgment, the trial chamber is satisfied that in both of these conversations, Popović was referring to the killing operation. Later in July 1995, 10 wounded Bosnian Muslim men came to be held at the headquarters of the Zvornik Brigade. Sometime after 23rd of July, these men were placed in Popovic's custody. For the reasons outlined in the judgment, the trial chamber is satisfied that Popović either killed or facilitated the killing of these 10 wounded Bosnian Muslim men. The trial chamber is satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that during these days, Popović was fully engaged in the organization of the killing operation being carried out in the Zvornik area. For the reasons set out in the judgment, the trial chamber has found that Popović was a member of the JCE to murder the Bosnian Muslim males of Srebrenica, and that he participated in the joint criminal enterprise with persecutory intent. The trial chamber has found that Popović was not a member of the JCE to forcibly remove the Bosnian Muslim civilian population from the enclaves. Popović was not a marginal participant in the JCE to murder. He knew of the plan from the time of its inception and was privy to each development. From the discussions at Bratunac before the operation began, to the capture of the Bosnian Muslim men from the column, to the large-scale killings at Zvornik, Popović was entrenched in several aspects of the operation, and he participated with resolve. He was ubiquitous in the Zvornik area, present at all but one of the major killing sites. Popović knew that the intent was not just to kill those who had fallen in the hands of the Bosnian Serb forces, but to kill as many as possible with the aim of destroying the group. Popovic's ensuing robust participation in all aspects of the plan demonstrates that he not only knew of this intent to destroy, but also shared it. I'll now deal with accused Beara. In July 1995, Ljubiša Beara was Chief of Security in the VRS Main Staff, and he held the rank of Colonel. He was the superior to Popović and Nikolić in the professional sense. On 13 July, Beara was present in Bratunac and was seen at a number of places where Bosnian Muslim men were detained. Intercepted conversations from this day record Beara discussing Bosnian Muslim prisoners. Although the record of one conversation indicates that Beara was looking to simply detain the prisoners, the trial chamber is nevertheless satisfied, for the reasons set out in the judgment, that the conversation was deliberately misleading as to the fate that awaited these Bosnian Muslim men. Several witnesses testified that Beara was present in Bratunac and took part in informal meetings held at the SDS offices between 13th and 14th of July 1995. The evidence of these witnesses is analyzed in detail in the judgment. The trial chamber is satisfied that Beara participated in these meetings, the subject matter of which was the logistics of the planned killing operation, including the location for the killings and burial, as well as transportation and equipment. Beara's coordinating role in the murder operation continued throughout 14th of July. He sourced construction machinery, enlisted the help of the civilian authorities to assist with the burials, and inspected possible detention and or execution sites. Beara was also present at the Gerbavci School and the Petkovci School on 14th of July, where prisoners were detained prior to being executed. On 15th of July, Beara continued to enlist personnel to carry out the killing operation, and intercepted conversations record his thinly veiled attempts to solicit resources. Beara told General Krstić that he had, quote, 3,500 parcels, unquote, that needed distributing, and pressured him to assign troops for that purpose. In another conversation, he discussed the killing operation in terms of conducting a, quote, triage, unquote. On 16th of July, Beara was at Kula School in Pilica, where prisoners were being held prior to execution. As the most senior officer in the security branch, the trial chamber is of the opinion that Beara had the clearest overall picture of the massive scale and scope of the killing operation. From his presence in Bratunac on the 9th of the 13th, to his personal visits to the various detention and execution sites and the significant logistical challenges he faced throughout, Beara had a very personal view of the staggering number of victims destined for execution. Steeped in this knowledge, the trial chamber is of the opinion that Beara effectively became a driving force behind the murder enterprise. For the reasons detailed in the judgment, the trial chamber has found that Beara was a member of the JCE to murder the Bosnian Muslim males from Srebrenica, and that he participated in that JCE with persecutory intent. The trial chamber has found that Beara was not a member of the JCE to forcibly remove the Bosnian Muslim civilian population from the enclaves. Beara's vigorous efforts to organize locations and sites, recruit personnel, secure equipment, and oversee executions all evidence his grim determination to kill as many as possible, as quickly as possible. His encounters with Miroslav Deronjic on the 9th of the 13th of July provide a chilling illustration of a mind set on destruction. He announced an intent to, quote, kill all, unquote, the detained men, and without pause to consider or comment upon the horrific nature of his so-called orders, he launched into a series of heated exchanges about the best location for this reprehensible undertaking. For these reasons, which are outlined in the judgment, the trial chamber is satisfied that at this time, Beara was a man intent on destroying a group by killing all the members of it within his reach. Beyond all reasonable doubt, he harbored genocidal intent. I'll deal with Drago Nikolić. In July 1995, Drago Nikolić was the chief of security in the Zvornik Brigade and held the rank of second lieutenant in the VRS. On the evening of 13 July, Nikolić was informed by Popović that the able-bodied Bosnian Muslim men from Srebrenica were to be brought from Bratunac to Zvornik to be killed.